2025. It's safe to say Happy New Month from my end right here. Yes, it's the first Wednesday edition of Press Drive in the month of July. Now, before we delve into the newspapers and before I welcome you, let me say this. Savor this month. Relish it. It is your month, whether you're born in this month or not, whether it's your birthday this month or not. This month belongs to everyone. We've all been given the same amount of time in the month of July. So savor each day in this month. Take each day in this month like it is the last day in the month of July. Do everything that you have to do every day in this month. Make use of the opportunities that are in this month. It is very important. Start whatever it is you want to start. Start that business, start that job, start that project. Do what it is you have to do. And make sure that at the end of the month of July, you look back to say, okay, I've been able to achieve something, no matter how small. So I've come this morning to tell you, relish this month of July. Savor every day. Take it like it's yours because it is actually yours. On that note, I welcome you to Press Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM IBADAN. This is where we take you through headlines making rounds in the national dailies this morning. I am your driver this morning. ESTHER ATILOLA is my name. Let's dive into the newspapers very quickly. I have the Punch, the Nation, and the Daily Post newspapers. We'll start with the headlines before we move to details of the stories we want to look at this morning. Joining me for analysis is Barrister Folusho Olapo. When it's time, you get to hear his voice. Remember, you can be a part of the conversation on Press Drive. You can call the studio lines, which I'll open when it's time. On Facebook, you can watch us live at I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. At I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Like, share, follow us, and if you want to react to the stories this morning, do comment on our Facebook page. Once again, good morning and welcome to Press Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM IBADAN. I start with the headlines of the Punch newspaper this morning. From there, we move to the Nation and the Daily Post newspapers. 2027 crossfire. APC strikes back after Mark Lamido slammed Tinubu's government. 2027 crossfire. APC strikes back after Mark Lamido slammed Tinubu's government. Nigeria risks decline without new constitution. Atta warns. Nigeria risks decline without new constitution. Atta warns. Hurricane Tinubu, Delta, Akwa Ibom defend APC defections amid fresh attacks. Hurricane Tinubu, Delta, Akwa Ibom defend APC defections amid fresh attacks. Firm urges infrastructure support for aviation sector. Firm urges infrastructure support for aviation sector. SAA engages Nigerian travel firms on Mauritius route. SAA engages Nigerian travel firms on Mauritius route. Nigeria's economy grows 3.7% in H1. Nigeria's economy grows 3.7% in the first half of 2025. Other headlines on the Punch newspaper includes Resident Lord Soludo's fare reduction efforts. Resident Lord Soludo's fare reduction efforts. Sanitation. Akwa Ibom, Abia lawmaker condemns arrest of offenders without arraignment. Abia lawmaker condemns arrest of offenders without arraignment. Abia conducive for investors, says OT. Abia conducive for investors, says OT. 79 senators, Southeast monarchs endorse Anioma State. 79 senators, Southeast monarchs endorse Anioma State. NIS president seeks support to transform sector. NI's president seeks support to transform sector. In education, Conwa petitions UNIZIC over unpaid allowances. Conwa petitions UNIZIC over unpaid allowances. Away from education, core members safe in Benue. Security improved, says Governor Alia. Core members safe in Benue State. Security improved, says Governor Alia. Now to Ondo State, Akeredolu's death probe sparks tension in Ondo. Akeredolu's death probe sparked tensions in Ondo. Still going through the headlines in the Punch newspaper this morning. Tuteria rewards top UTME student with 1 million naira scholarship. Tuteria rewards top UTME student. She's claimed 1,680 lives. Southwest Heat as cold clashes claim 1,680 lives. Mimiko seeks increased health funding to tackle doctors' japa. Mimiko seeks increased health funding to tackle doctors' japa. Speaker seek governor support for legislative autonomy. Speaker seek governor support for legislative autonomy. Let's go through the last set of headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. Governor Makinde urges calm as student alumni reject IBADAN Poly renaming. Makinde urges calm as student alumni reject IBADAN Poly renaming. Ogun Partners NSA on surveillance equipment. Ogun Partners NSA on surveillance equipment. Assembly summons AG over Sanwo-Olu's proposal to delay local government law. Assembly summons AG over Sanwo-Olu's proposal to delay local government law. All right, I'm seeing three stories, headlines, which I should also reel out. Buhari brought integrity, transparency to governance, ex-spokesman says. Buhari brought integrity, transparency to governance, ex-spokesman says. Still on the Punch newspaper, federal government panel proposes 70 as retirement age for doctors. Federal government panel proposes 70 as retirement age for doctors. Okay, I'm seeing this also. 2027, Mark Aregbesola emerged ADC interim chairman and secretary. And now Aregbesola is saying why I agreed to serve as ADC interim secretary. Why I agreed to 27. Obi submit one-term proposal to Atiku-led coalition. 2027, Obi submits one-term proposal to Atiku-led coalition. Now to the Nation newspaper this morning. Our vision for FCT by President Tinubu. Our vision for FCT by Tinubu. Article Mark Tambuwal Secondus Egbu. Others head for ADC. Article Mark Tambuwal Secondus Egbu. Others head for ADC. Governors Badaru, Dangote, Otedola. Others bid Dantata farewell. Governors Badaru, government, Dangote rather, Otedola, others bid Dantata farewell. NIMET says human lives, buildings, others at risk of extreme weather. NIMET, human lives, buildings, others at risk of extreme weather. AMCON ex-director denies signing Arik Air loan deal. AMCON ex-director denies signing Arik Air loan deal. 10 varsities benefit from $38 million initiative to drive digital education reforms. 10 varsities benefit from $38 million initiative to drive digital education reforms. Generals worthy of applause, not denigration. Generals worthy of applause, not denigration. Other headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning includes federal government reviews counter-terrorism strategy. Federal government reviews counter-terrorism strategy. Black race, not lazy, says President Tinubu. Black race, not lazy, says President Tinubu. Federal government to drive investment with Africans for Africa Fund. Federal government to drive investment with Africans for Africa Fund. Going to the last set of headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Tinubu's health policies can curb brain drain. Ex-Ondo Governor Mimiko says Tinubu's health policies can curb by working for Buhari. Garba Shehu says, I didn't betray Atiku by working for Buhari. Garba Shehu says, I'm committed to building inclusive, thriving Nigeria, says President Tinubu. I'm committed to building inclusive, thriving Nigeria, says Tinubu. And finally, on the Nation newspaper this morning, 2027, Atiku, David Mark, Lamido woo PDP members to break away. 2027, Atiku, David Mark, Lamido woo PDP members to break away. Finally, to the Daily Post newspaper, which is actually very short. Atiku, David Mark, secondos, others dump PDP, adopt coalition to unseat Tinubu. Atiku, David Mark, secondos, others dump PDP, adopt coalition to unseat Tinubu. Buhari was a slow leader, Garba Shehu says. Buhari was a slow leader, Garba Shehu says. NYSC wants court members against financial recklessness, disrespect to host communities. NYSC wants court members against financial recklessness, disrespect to host communities. To the politics section of the Daily Post newspaper, why Ganduje resigned as party national chairman, Orji Kalu says. APC, why Ganduje resigned as party national chairman, Orji Kalu says. And finally, on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, the politics section, 2027, Tinubu government complete failure. Labour Party chieftain wrote Vivo says, 2027, Tinubu government complete failure. Labour Party chieftain wrote Vivo says. And 2027, El Rufai confirms coalition as adopted ADC. Aregbesola appointed interim secretary. El Rufai confirms coalition has adopted ADC. Aregbesola appointed interim secretary. There are a whole lot of stories to check out this morning to go through its details. So let's just delve into the details of the newspapers with me this morning. Joining me for analysis is Barrister Folusho Olapo. Good morning. It's good to have you on Press Drive.
Yes, good morning this morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good morning, Nigerians. Once again, Esther has told us why it is necessary that we should work and relish this month of July. And I want to add that when you are working, do not forget to pray. Work and pray. Anyway, prayer is not a substitute to hard work. Both of them must be balanced for you to win. We shall all win in Jesus' name. Good morning this morning.
Thank you very much for that. All right, let's delve into the details of the stories. And I'll start with this coming from President Bola Tinubu. And he says, I am committed to a thriving Nigeria. All right, let me get the details of that story. And he also said that our vision for FCT. So I'm going to be putting those two stories together, starting with President Tinubu. I'm committed to building inclusive, thriving Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has said that the ongoing infrastructure development across the FCT are clear evidence of his administration's commitment to building an inclusive and prosperous Nigeria. Speaking on Tuesday during the commissioning of the newly completed Collector Road CN8 Asuko Okonwe linking Arterial Road, N5, Obafemi Awolowo Way, and all that, Tinubu stated that modernizing cities is one of the strongest indicators of a serious and purposeful government. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, the president said the benefit of the road project will be both immediate and long-lasting. He added that this is the true meaning of his renewed hope agenda, not lofty rhetoric, but practical impact, not policy for politics' sake, but policy translated into progress. Renewed hope poured into concrete and paved across kilometers. He also emphasized that the newly commissioned roads will revive communities long neglected and unlock new growth opportunities. Okay, and I think that's basically what is also in the other headline, which says a vision for FCT by Tinubu. Okay, he's saying that the infrastructure across Abuja or across FCT is a testament to his administration's commitment to building a city that works for everyone. Okay, so that's his vision for FCT, to build a city that works for everyone. And he's saying that he's committed to building inclusive, thriving Nigeria, says President Tinubu. Let's start with that.
Well, in the first instance, the reason for creating Abuja or the FCT is for Nigeria to have a center which bring about all the inhabitants of Nigeria as one. So it's like a no man's land. So that is what the vision was then. And that was why it was situated in the center of the country, so that every part of the country will have a feeling that this is my place. Whether that vision has been achieved is another thing, because we have most of the time, if not for this administration, the past administrations has been appointing northerners as the FCT minister. But though the minister of state for FCT might be from the south, but none of them ever appointed a southerner as a minister of the FCT. So, and in fact, most of the time when you look at the people contesting elections for the FCT, their local governments now, there's a name they call it. You will see that majority of them are maybe the aborigines of that place, the northern or the midwest, the middle belt people. But of course, President Tinubu seemed to have changed that, especially by the appointment of a southerner as the minister. Substantive minister. Good. Having said that, well, that doesn't mean that the vision for the country seems to be at par with the vision for the FCT. The vision for the country, according to him, is to have an inclusive where every Nigeria is free, and that is very egalitarian, and that is what the constitution provides for. But we look at it, it appears that the rule of law is not respected in this country, especially because it is shown to us, to the citizens, that some people are more how do they say it in animal farm? Some animal, yes, that some people are more equal than the others. So it happens in this. You have a vision for a country that is if the people, which is, let us put it that way, if the people that are supposed, quote unquote, to be the infrastructure now, the people that ought even to meet their need first, human capital development, it is human capital development that will translate into the building of infrastructure, and not the other way around. Because when you are building roads, building bridges, building houses, building all these things, and people are hungry, and people are living in abject poverty, then it won't gel. In fact, there will be imbalance between the two, because it is the people who are alive that will use infrastructures that are being built. But if the people are living dead, then to that extent nobody is going to live or use the infrastructures. So I think Mr. President is putting the